after.
Welcome to the Save Par Golf Podcast, where two average golfers talk about golf and things. I'm your host, Derek.
That sounded kind of funny. I'm Dominic.
We are currently on episode 113, and we have two special guests today. This is the first time that we've had two guests in one episode.
Well, it's not first time two guests, two separate
one
companies.
episode, though, right?
Yeah, but separate companies.
Exactly, yes. We have Los Golferos, we have Ralph, and then we have Kingsmen Golf, Don. If you're not following them on Instagram, make sure to hit that follow button. The user handles are at Los Golferos, that's LOS_GOLFEROS, and Kingsmen Golf, that's at KINGSMENGOLF. That was a lot to kind of spit out. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time and hopping on the podcast.
There we go.
All right, we're off to a good start. There we go.
Bro. Thanks,
Ralph, you've been on the podcast. This is your
Third
time. Second for
third time at bat. Yeah.
We appreciate you. Appreciate the support. That means a lot to us. And Don, welcome to the podcast. This is your first time. You
appreciate being here.
Absolutely, it's a good time. Let's get right into it. Don, we'll start with you. When did you launch Kingsmen Golf, and where'd the idea come from?
Yeah, official and unofficial, right? Like the official start was last summer. We actually kicked off in late July. Unofficially, which is a lot of people don't know this, it's one of the reasons we have established since 2020. That was the unofficial start date. I actually had the logo designed, and I had a few things that I wanted to bring to life. And 2020 happened, and I put everything away. So we're relatively new in terms of our formation, but the idea has been there for a while.
That's awesome. So you have some really cool polos. You have the Jet, was it the Dandy, and then is it the Cream Shagreen? Am I pronouncing
the Cream Shagreen?
I love that name. So where do the names come from?
It's funny too, because when people order the shirt, they're like, "Give me the Tiffany blue box one." Like I'll get all types of great. Give me the aquamarine one. I mean, the cream shagreen. Yeah, the blue one. So you get all the different types of takes on the. People will just say, "Oh, give me the all black one instead of the Jet." The names are deeply tied to some of the brand values that I'm sure we'll get into as we get going into the show. But the shirts are part of this collection that we call the 18, and that's our inaugural collection from the brand. And really, when it came to me, it was like I wanted to do 18 distinctive shirts, each with the same shape, the same form, but different patterns and different colors. And so it sounded really easy when I wrote that down, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to do 18 shirts. It's extremely difficult.
I can imagine. Did you have any previous experience in the golf industry, or where did you come up with the idea of I'm going to start a golf brand?
None. In fact, honestly, I would say that's probably why we've been so successful so far, is because I fall into one of the categories of post-pandemic golfers. So almost no experience whatsoever with golf other than the occasional. I know about Tiger Woods, kind of coming out of the late 90s, early 2000s. Never had played. Actually, if we get time, there's a really hilarious story about I grew up in Indianapolis, and I tried to caddy for a summer, and that lasted about 20 seconds. And I went and worked at Kroger, which is, if you're in the Midwest, Kroger. Shout out to all the Kroger kids that started out bagging.
Yeah, I don't think we do.
We don't have.
No, I've heard of the name, but yeah,
we'll
definitely make time for the story. I want to hear the
gosh.
story for sure. But
it's a good story, but no experience with golf prior to this.
It's fascinating. That's really cool. So did you just come up with the idea? Did you brainstorm with a couple other people that are like, hey, I got this idea? You put it on the paper. I want to actually make it a reality. What was the whole process like?
Honestly, it really came out of at the time I was working on a bunch of different branding projects. I have a background in product design, and I was working at that time for Capital One, and I was working as a designer there. And I was talking with someone on the team about doing an apparel line. In fact, this other designer, they had launched their own apparel line, years ago. They did a lot of streetwear. And so I had always wanted to do something super clean, I was really into that whole, how do you take a Ralph Lauren polo and kind of style it so that it has a little bit more flair with your whole look.
Sure.
How do you put something super clean and dapper with like sneakers? Like that's always been my MO. So I really wanted to do something in terms of apparel and in terms of, style, but I just didn't know where I would take it. So it actually started out with the lion emblem with the crown. Like I
Yep.
knew Kingsman just sounded so royal. It just had this feeling of dignity and honor. And I did a few sketches, and then, like a lot of my branding projects, I sort of put it away. I didn't get back to it until the golf bug bit me, which was actually in 2021. That's why I said I'm a post-pandemic golfer.
That's awesome. Ralph, if you have any questions too, man, feel free to chime in. Like I said, sometimes dominate the conversation. I try not to. So like I said, if you have any questions or anything,
Oh yeah.
feel free to
No,
chime
definitely.
in.
I'm letting you guys vibe out and do your thing. That was kind of one of the big things of connecting Don with you guys, is to give him a platform and talk. And actually, as you're kind of going through, Don, talking about your story a little bit, um, kind of random. I don't know if maybe you pulled from this at all, but did you pull the name kind of from the Kingsman movie, or with the idea of kind of, because I think around 2020 we kind of got the Black Panther coming out. Did you take any
Yeah,
inspiration at all from any of that, or is it something
So,
organic that you came up with?
so
it
before
it
you answer
wasn't.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so Ralph messaged me, hey, this guy wants to be on, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck it. Like, it's a movie. I'm like, hell yeah.
yeah.
And then I did some digging. And I was like, okay, this is way more than a movie. I dig it. I love it. But initially I was like the movie.
It's kind of,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Let's get Big Z on here or whatever his name is. And
yeah, yeah.
let's go. My dad loves
it,
those
it
movies. So I
it
hope,
it works against us, or it works for us, because people sometimes will misspell it and then they realize it's plural, and then they're like, oh, okay, like all the king's men. But it helps us sometimes because there's a familiarity when it just sounds like a brand you should already know about,
For sure.
you know?
And
Yeah.
that's kind of where my thought process was when I first met you, because I think, for me, I think of Kingsman the movie, and I think of the suits and the elegance and kind of,
Yes.
the suaveness that they
Mm.
bring into that movie. And I tie that with your brand when I see you on the golf course. So I own the dandy, right? So it's the cheetah print, kind of the jaguar
It
print, if we
looks
would
looks
say.
amazing, and it looks so good on you when we played. I was like,
I appreciate that. I'm
killing it,
careful.
trying. You're helping
Carefully,
me.
it's
You're
kind of
helping
white.
me out
killing
there.
it.
Yeah, careful. My wife listens to the podcast, so
She's tuning in.
He's right behind you. That's why it's all blurred.
Yeah. She's giving signs right now. She's like,
cut it out, cut it out.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought that was so cool. I wasn't sure if that maybe was an inspiration behind it, because I do get that elegance behind all your different designs, which makes it even that much more impressive when I talk to you and you're just like, yeah, this is coming from my head. This is what I'm putting out into a polo. So
Mm.
thought I'd bring that out. I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great question.
it's a lot of people don't know where this name comes from. This is like the power of being able to hop on a podcast and tell the story. Um, as good of a thing as it is that it kind of ties in a way to the movie, it actually, I can't even take credit for it, because it was the name of a group chat from a buddy who basically got us together. So it's a buddy of mine, guy I go way back with, from college, and he got us together in 2021 to have a golf trip. And I didn't play golf. A couple of the other guys didn't play golf, but a few of them did. So we got together. This is kind of like when travel opened up, and we played golf for the first time. I played golf for the first time in Cancun, and the
What a
name of
Damn,
our
trip.
what
group
a
chat,
place.
it
What
was
a what a what a
amazing. It
place
was
to get your first round in.
What a place.
That was and I could not hit the ball, right? It goes one of two ways. Either you get a birdie your first round, or everything's in the water and you're immediately like hooked, because you're like, man, I can't be out here like this. Um, but that's where it was. In the name of our group chat, he called it Kingsman. And I loved it because, when we got to the end of the round, I got actually one of my favorite photos is where we're all standing in the row, with our drivers, acting like we are, had a successful round of golf. But we had lost like 40 balls. And I mean, two of the guys could actually play. But that's where the name came from. And I really love that picture because, when I'm thinking about the picture right now in my mind. Like two of the guys were rocking like V-neck t-shirts. Like we had all been out the night before, kind of living it up.
Yeah,
We
went out
didn't
for a
know.
good
That's how
Hey,
you
time.
do
Ah,
it.
we
that's
we
it
didn't know
sounds
how we were supposed to
familiar.
show up at a golf course, man. It was very like we're just gonna go and have a good time and play 18, and we didn't know any better. And as soon as I got through with that round, I was like, man, that experience was something like I had never had in my life, and I just it felt like wow. Um, this feels like winning in a way that I just could have never imagined, and I just fell in love with golf.
Let's be honest here,
What
though.
what
Was
is it?
the was
What is it about that, guys? Like, sorry to cut you off there,
Oh
Derek,
no,
but
go
like,
ahead.
what is it about golf that like we can go shoot 110, 115, like crazy stupid scores, but to Don's point, you come off feeling amazing. Like, oh man, like
Mm,
that course just kicked my butt, but
yeah.
I had a great time. Isn't that crazy?
I
Hmm.
It's wild. You
I
pay money to kind of suck, but you
I
still
mean,
enjoy it.
I can answer this because,
It's true though.
well, I mean, I have an answer for
Yes,
once in my
yeah.
life. I'm gonna work my way through it. Um, so like when we were out in California, I don't know how much money we spent in total to play Half Moon Bay.
Yeah, it
It
was
was a
just
lot,
it wasn't cheap.
but I was pissed off that morning because you made me wake up early
So Dom, just clarify real quick before you tell the story.
Okay.
He's not a morning person
at
whatsoever,
all.
and he'll admit it. Yeah, clearly. So like like when we're driving, like I'm all like energized. I'm ready to play
You're
the
ready.
nicest course I've ever played, and
Let's
I
go.
know not to even speak to Dom right next to me because he's like in this like mood of like, dude, I'm so mad at you right now
Yeah.
that I'm gonna spend $260 and play golf when I could be sleeping. But
After we
now you
spent
can continue.
after we spent like $100 to just reserve it.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah.
I've never done that. You had to like spend money to reserve it, and then it was very
Sounds
expensive.
like
It was
Tori.
worth it. It was worth it. But
I feel like we got ripped off, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so like I have like my joggers on, I got my Jordan 1 golf shoes, I got my fucking
You're
hood
ready.
up, and I got my Red Bull. I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And then the first breakfast burrito touched my mouth and it was game over. And then I was hooked. My theory is it's all about who you play with, right?
100%.
Like for us,
Mm.
did I spend a ton of money? Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Did I want to be there at like 7 a.m.? No. But it was me, Derek, Beard, Brendan from Duffin Up. Like,
it was people that we've had on the podcast, kind
yeah.
of like what we're doing now, and we were able to like link up
Mm.
and connect
The first
and have these
couple
In the
the
real
first
conversations.
couple
world.
holes, I
Yeah.
was like, this sucks. And then once you get into it and you're like,
And you don't want it to end, right?
yeah. And then when
It's
it
like,
ended, I was like, are we sure there's not like two more holes hidden somewhere?
yeah,
Or can we like
You're
sneak
ready.
on
you're
to
gonna
like
You
the
want to
other
play
course?
another 18?
exactly.
Yeah.
But I 100% agree. Like it really depends on like who you're playing with. And to go
Mm.
back to that though, like, did it really come down to like wanting to go to Cancun to play golf, or was it when they're like, "Hey, we're going to Cancun," you're like, "Sign me up." You know what I
I
mean?
think
Because like,
golf was the like, hey, this is one of the things we're gonna do besides, the jet skis and getting out and having a good
sure,
time and but we booked it so that it was an all day thing. And the way that we booked it was kind of similar. It was like, we had the carts reserved and the clubs and the cigars and all of this, right? So it's like it was like a day, and then everything else was kind of like we're just going to be out having a good time. So, I think that in a way became for me like a starting point. Like I just, from that point on, I was like really into like trying to figure out like what is it about this golf thing that like made it so different, from just going out and partying and having a good time in Cancun.
you did set the bar really high though, I would say.
So that night,
Yeah.
so
Starting to Cancun, playing golf with your homeboys. I mean, like that's literally like a dream, right? Doesn't matter if you're like if you're a person that's never picked up a club before, or a person like me that's played golf since they were like
Yeah.
19 years old. Like that's kind of like a bucket list type of deal,
so
right?
that the day we played Half Moon Bay, was that the night that we went out and I got absolutely just like obliterated
Yeah,
and
yeah,
wandered
yeah.
Taco Bell?
So
Yeah, so we went back. They're like, dude, we're gonna go out to lunch. I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap. You guys can leave. And to their glory, They let me take a nap.
Dom's a nap guy for sure, 100%.
Yeah, so like we went back to Airbnb. They're all looking at places to eat, and I like sneak off into my room and take a nap.
Dom calls me old because I'm older, but Dom's taking naps here. I don't take
I'm not a
naps.
morning person.
No, he's not. But I will say, Ralph, though, I am actually really disappointed because the day of the event, so we had our shindig in last June.
Oh my,
I don't know, I was gonna say July. It's been almost what?
don't say
Yeah,
it.
we're happy your way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I did not drink anything the day of the event. I was like zoned in. I didn't drink.
I drank.
I let drink. Dom drank for me. So he basically
Yeah, he
consumed
did.
two people's. But I
So
really regret though not having some of the Los Golferos
La
the
Cheve.
cerveza, my friend.
The
come
best
on,
part
Derek,
was
what are you doing, bro?
I know, right?
the best part was there's like a backup at one of the holes, and I have a Modelo in my hand, and I just hear Dom, Dom, and I'm like, who the hell is yelling for me? And I think it was Raul like, waving me over. And he goes, "How many of those have you had?" I'm like, "This might be my fifth." He goes, "Ah, you're invited to carne asada next time," and I'm just like, "Here we go."
Dom. I've never seen Dom that like because Dom doesn't. You don't really drink a whole lot, and if you do, like
I'm
it's
on
not.
vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's yeah. So you're on vacation having a good time, but man,
I
he
feel
was
like
in his element
I
that
feel
week.
like
It
I
was
drank.
awesome.
I feel like I drank half the pony keg you guys brought.
Probably you were at it quite a bit. Like I would go to the keg and you were just standing there. I was like, all right,
He
cool.
was he was
He's invited to the
bodyguarding
carne
Well,
the keg.
asada.
well,
Like,
part of it was I was so amazed watching you guys put the rivets and the grommets in the
Oh yeah,
towels
that was super dope.
that I was like, this is like so cool. Because I in my head they came done. In reality, I didn't realize you guys sat there and just fucking whacked them.
That was really cool. And Don, we
yeah.
definitely want to continue talking about your apparel and what you have coming up here in 2024. But definitely, Ralph, want to kind of talk about what you have kind of. I know you've launched. You did a collaboration with Desert Golf with the phone caddy and the cigar holder, which was really cool.
Those are cool.
Well done on the video,
Yeah.
by the way. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Very well
Shout out to
done.
my wife.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, wives are the biggest support system, my friend, right? They
Yeah,
they
man.
they definitely are.
Am I the single one here?
I don't know.
Hell yeah.
I'm not sure. But in any case, uh Ralph, do you have anything like popping off here in 2024? Collaborations, releases of towels, hats? What do you got kicking?
Hoodie's coming out.
Beat me to the punch, Dom. Yeah, man. So we're
Sorry.
excited. 2024. No, you're good. You're good. 2024, man. We're excited to do more, right? Like we entered the game, so to speak, to add our own spice, our little chile to the game, and kick things off with the towels, and it's been going great. But there's an evolution, right? And that evolution has been an upgrade to our hoodies. So you'll notice I'm rocking our new performance hoodie. Um, we'll be launching them on the website here this coming weekend. So we're really excited for that. And then on top of that, we're going to be launching our own podcast as well. That's going to be coming out here
Congratulations.
soon.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're gonna be a guest.
Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't hear about that.
Of course.
All
Of
right.
course, we're going to have Safe Par on there, and
Okay.
Don. Of course, we'll get Kingsman on there. But yeah, those are the two big things for us. And then continuing to do some of the things that we have been doing. Like I said, we like to add our own spice, our own flavor to the game. And it's not just us; it's bringing others along, and that's kind of how we made this happen, and how I introduced Don to Dom, and Don, I'll let you take over in a little bit, but we went out for a round of golf. His first impression of me out on a golf course was me running out because I was late to our tee time. But
Oh, you're,
we had
you're,
I mean, it's on
Full
brand.
sprint.
it's so funny because I'm never late to tee times, and like
I
the
know.
one time I'm like
I thought we were
I'm
about
meeting
to
this
play
guy
that speed golf, man. Like, what you saw on
like, get
Instagram
your running
recently.
shoes
I was
on. We're
like,
rolling.
dang, man,
Speed
bro,
golf.
we're gonna play that type of round, man. Like 60-second dash to the par three, like, okay.
I came out like it was the combine running my 40. I was just like sprinting out there, and I was like, all right, I'm ready, let's go.
There's an ACL.
That is the worst though. Like you have full intentions of being there on time or early, and you're running late, and then you already know because it's not even like you. It's like you feel bad for the person that's like waiting on you. That's already there.
Have you ever had to wait for me?
No, but I have one buddy that's just like that. Like you give him a tee time and you literally have to tell him like 20 minutes before. Otherwise he'll be 15, 20 minutes late. You know what I mean?
Well, I have to do that for Raul and Sergio sometimes. They'll be like, "Oh, what time are we teeing off?" I know it's 7, but like 6:45, and it's like,
Hey, dang, that's pretty early. It's like, yeah, be
and they're
there.
showing up at like 6:40, and it's like, "Oh, all right, cool. They're here on time for a 7 o'clock tee time." But no, to wrap up my update, it's 2024 is going to be about not only rising and getting our stuff up, but just bringing others along as best as we can. We're not the biggest, we're not Nike, we're not TaylorMade or any of these big brands, but whatever we could do to help others, we've been doing that in the past, but we really want to put a big initiative on doing that again this year. So that's kind of where the podcast is coming in, introducing Don and others, and kind of cross collaborating. Just because you build the network and you build those relationships, and not that we do with the intent of getting anything out of it, but hey, if somebody wants to help us out later down the line, then we're never going to close the door on that. So yeah, that's really our big initiatives for 2024.
Well, and let me tell you, yeah, you're not TaylorMade, you're not Nike, but all my golf bags have a Golferos towel clipped on that thing. So
Uh-oh.
my main one, I have the pink one, and
Salute to
then
that, brother.
the bags we bring to do events from Sticks, I have
Yeah.
whatever fucking color I picked out that you guys sent over, but all my bags have the Golferos towels.
I'm taking a customer out golfing tomorrow in Minnesota. Okay, so
The fact that you're saying that in Minnesota in
January has never happened in my whole life. So I'm
and it's
35,
not to a
almost
simulator.
35. Not to a
The
simulator.
celebration.
Indoors.
God, you're old.
I know. I'm gonna be 35. I'm 34, so
I know.
we're getting close. But I'll have my Los Golferos towel on the bag. I'll make sure to take some photos and videos. But like you said though, like that's what
Appreciate
this
it.
whole thing is all about, right? We're not necessarily like it's not just about promoting, it's more or less building relationships and helping other companies out because we're all in this together. It's not, we're not trying to be competitive and be like, no, screw this guy, whoever. But so this is what we love about the podcast.
Yeah, because let me tell you, the podcast merch is not going to be anywhere near as good as the Kingsman stuff or the Golferos stuff. But you better believe it's going to have my little flair on it that Derek does not know anything about
I'm
because
excited.
he was not on that call. And I don't know if you're going to like it.
I'm sure I'll like it. I trust you.
I'm sure it's
and-
gonna be
and-
great. I wear my shindig shirt like at least once a week. It gets washed,
This is
but I wear it
this
at least once a week.
this is the new one that nobody bought other than me.
I'm gonna pull the trigger and buy one. So I will say, Ralph, I bought one as well. I bought a large because normally I'm large, and it did come in a little smaller than what it was supposed to. So of course my wife took that one over. So now I bought an extra large, and of course, guess who took that one over as well? But I try to wear that at least once a week as well. So, but with that being said, we are potentially having an event in Minnesota in July. So if you guys are able to make it out, so that's potential.
I
Let's
mean,
go. Run it
with
back.
me in charge of it, which is a scary thought, I'm stubborn, to put it lightly. It's gonna happen, assuming the courses want to play.
Yeah. No, I think we'll make it
Okay.
happen.
But we're looking at July 20th.
July 20th, if you guys are able to make it,
All right.
Saturday. But going back to Don,
Yeah, what were we talking about?
well, no, just the polos in general. So you have what, 3 polos out. But for me, like I love like color. I like different styles, but I'm also at the end of the day, sometimes I like nothing better than just a fresh black polo.
Oh, the dandy. It
And
like
so
calls my name.
and so like the jet, right? But you have
I'm getting the flare. I can see the like, boom, like, over here, the clean black polo over here. I'm like, maybe the purple Royale on Dom would be that's gonna drip real nice. You know what I mean? So I can see it.
Purple's
I
my
can see
favorite
it.
color.
that's
There
what I'm
you
saying
go.
though.
They
I
got
like that.
they got
You
the
have a
accents
little,
right there. We got the black and purple
They
going
already
already. Look at that.
it's already
Right.
happening. I see it.
Like,
It's,
So
it's
the
there.
whole reason we have a purple shindig hoodie was because I got upset. I was like, how are you gonna do every color but my favorite color? And Jordan's like, you're right. And I was like, put a purple one now. So now we have purple hoodies.
yeah. So again, I'm all for rocking the different color styles, but at the end of the day, sometimes it's nice just to rock that fresh jet black polo, right?
Sold out. Yeah, that one. We actually, and this is news. This is an update because people don't know this, but because we did limited runs, cut and sew of each of these shirts. So we have like 150, and then when they sell out, that's it. but we sold out of the jet so fast that we're gonna order more. Actually, I pulled the trigger for more last week, so we're gonna get another 100 in
Awesome.
of that all black shirt. So far that's been the best seller.
We've talked
I
to other
got 5 on
companies.
it.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I definitely want to order one as well. Like I said, there's nothing wrong. Like I said, I like the color options, but at the end of the day, you can't go wrong with a nice black polo. It goes with everything. So,
It goes with
um,
everything, and the
yeah,
thought too is like, what can you wear off the course, right? And like for people who obviously new golfers for sure, like the amount of time that you can squeeze, to play golf. I mean, we joke about this all the time, but like you're trying to invent hours. And so the last thing that I want someone to have to feel like they need to do per se is, go and like get a shirt that is specifically for golf. I'm like, why can't I have a shirt that is absolutely amazing for golf, but I can, wear this elsewhere? I got
sure.
other things. I got to go to a baby shower. Like, I got to
I'm
go to like someone's barbecue. You know what I mean? As soon as you get through, you're like rushing off to something else. And it's like, I don't want to have to change from like, my super bright, neon yellow, but you need to, you can't show up like that. You know what I mean? So I think part of this is like what transitions really well from on and off the course.
I like that.
I'm so glad you said that. Oh, that nooner.
The
Um,
Hooters hitting
the
down.
nooner. Just because I feel like golf is trending in a direction where it's almost lifestyle infused.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we had on
Mm.
the True Links,
Yeah,
the
the
shoes,
shoes.
I wore my pair to work.
Oh yeah, I wear them all the time.
Yeah, I have the Ripstop V2. I wore those to work the other day.
Hmm.
Tomo.
Same style.
Sonny was like, "Hey, we want to see these at the airport. We want to see these on the golf course." I'm surprised more clothing companies haven't gone that route either. So I'm happy you said that. Just because I think it's all multifaceted, and yeah, you should be able to
Mm.
go straight from the course to wherever you need to go and not look like out of place. You know what I
Well,
mean?
and then just to piggyback on that too,
Maybe not out of place, but like the center of attention.
well, like for example, tomorrow I'll probably be wearing a golf polo to work, and then I don't need to worry about I need to get home to change. Like I can bring this polo that's work appropriate and wear it right on the course. So
I
I
wore
think that
sweatpants to work the other day.
well,
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
all right, there you go. Got it.
Oh,
So
Dom.
so before we hop on the
Yeah.
podcast though, we got to show the glasses because I mean honestly
Oh,
the
okay.
glasses
We're throwing back on. This
we
is
we
all
got to
part
we
of
got
the.
to
I mean,
there.
at heart,
I
I'm
mean,
a,
There we
I'm
go.
an artist. I'm an artist. In fact, you know what?
Hell yeah.
I'll be honest. I think one of the really, so is Ralph. We gotta dive in a little bit. One of the reasons I know we really like hit it off. We had a moment where it was at one of the tournaments, right? And we're talking about the Los Golferos logo, and I remember like how I was just so impressed with the desire to bring a real artist into creating that logo. Like for me as a designer, like that's everything. The details are everything. So like coming from outside of golf, I think the thing that I appreciate the most is when I actually meet someone who like cares about like all those details. Like obviously we talked about the towels, um, but just the logo, just that story about finding the illustrator, respecting the illustrator, because I come from a background of, even before we talk golf, like I'm the dude that people would pay and I'm spending like hours in the shop or like hours in the studio, like trying to perfect logos for big companies, small companies. And so I know that grind of an illustrator, of a graphic designer, of an artist. And often those logos, they're afterthoughts. Not only in golf, but a lot of brands, right? Hey, this
sure.
is a cool logo. I spent $5 on it. Let me throw it on like a bunch of stuff and like love my stuff. And it's like, no, that doesn't have longevity. So, I think that's what I deeply appreciated about that interaction with Ralph when we were talking about, and with Raul, like where did this logo come from? And then when I start to see it, I'm like, yo, that's hot. Because I know the story. I know what went into like making that beautiful piece of art. I'm like, let it show up everywhere.
That's what it comes down
Yeah.
to, like
Yeah,
right, like
definitely.
telling a story.
And I feel like obviously the entire Golferos, I feel like all you guys really embody what the brand is and what the logo is. Um, Fact I've never said it aloud, but Sergio might be my favorite.
Ralph's my
What?
favorite. He's right here.
I love
What?
dude,
Oh,
I
thanks,
love
Derek. Thank
Sergio,
you.
dude. Serge is I love Serge. Don't get me wrong, I love you, Ralph. I love Raul and I love Hector. But like every time I see Sergio like putt or just do anything, I'm like, "It's so cool."
You guys definitely vibe together. You guys are a vibe together. I'll
I-
agree. Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
won't take too much offense, but I'm a little low key hurt.
I got you, Ralph.
it's okay.
You're my favorite.
It's okay. Derek can be your favorite.
Yeah.
I understand.
Oh man. No,
but no,
that's awesome. But
yeah. Go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead and say yeah. Go ahead and talk about that because I completely agree. I think like every like logo has some sort of story, and I think that's what really kind of separates the brand.
I'm just curious what he thinks of our logo,
Which one? Got a couple.
Ralph?
the one we use more often than not.
Yeah. Well,
are
funny
you talking
story.
about the one where it's you guys
Yeah.
together?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
love
gonna say,
that.
yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
No, that makes it really personable. And no, I think that ties back into
Birds.
kind of what Don's talking about. Like, so I mean, you guys know because we've talked about it on the podcast before, but you know, our logo was meetings worth of conversations and finding the right artist. Because to Don's point, when we do something, we move with what's the story? Why are we doing it? We don't want to just do something and say like, "Hey, we did it to do it for shits and giggles." Um, and so, like, we found a Mexican artist. We told him, "Hey, this is why we're doing the brand. This is kind of where we're going with this. This is our vision." We
Love it.
never really envisioned the Aztec warrior, but we said,
Mm.
"Hey, like, we're here to bring our culture into the game. Add an option." The artist Jacobo is not necessarily a golfer, from what I understand, but he was like, "I got you guys. Let me throw a couple things together." And Raul, when you listen to this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think his first iteration was the Guerrero, the Aztec warrior, and he put all the elements in there and into making that happen. And to your point, Don, I think subconsciously, I think that's why we did click, because I could see the passion, I could see that you're all in. We haven't talked about this just yet, guys, but Don's all in on Kingsman. I still kind of have my 9 to 5. I'm at Raul and the guys. We're passionate about Los Golferos and we put the time into it. But Don's all in. Kingsman's his life right now. So
It's
when he
crazy.
was telling me that on the golf course, I was like, dude, like, how can I help you? How can we help you? We're all about that. Like, we want to get to that point. So I mean, not to sound cliche, but you are living out the American dream. You have an idea, you're fighting for it. I believe you have some partners that are involved in the business as well, but definitely you're putting in that work, you're grinding to make Kingsman what it is today. So respect to you, brother. Salud.
I respect that. Appreciate that, Ralph. Yeah,
I don't have
I'll
a
be
drink
honest. A
anymore.
big
There
part
you
of
go.
it.
Yeah.
Hey,
I drank
yeah.
mine.
Well
A
said,
big
Ralph.
big part of that,
Yeah.
Ralph, is I'll just say this, because this is, man, boom, boom.
Oh,
I
we should
love
just
this.
leave. No, this is great.
No,
I'm
no, I
sitting
know,
back
I know.
and
But like we could just like
soaking it all in.
Yeah.
I love
Swan
this.
song. I mean, it's the community. I'll be real, man. There's a couple of different camps of post-pandemic golfers, right? You got the guys who, they played at some point in their life and they picked up the sticks. You got, kind of the, hey, ambivalent to the game, just kind of whatever. It's a trend. Let me hop on the bus. But I think what really struck me beyond even talking art was just the invitation to be a part of the community. Like, I'll be honest, like, being all in hasn't been enough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
I'm conscious of the need. And so I believe there's enough people out there that have the same need. And as a designer, that's what you do. You try to solve needs creatively. And I saw an opportunity where I'm like, I'm not paying $105 to look like this. And, especially not when it's 80 degrees outside and I'm sweating through your hoodie, or, not Los Golferos hoodies, but some of these shirts, man, it was like,
what a
this
plug.
stuff,
Yeah, a
this
little
stuff
shameless
is
plug for
is
that.
not worth
What
it.
a plug.
Yeah.
This stuff isn't worth it. And I felt like Ralph and really that whole, crew invited me into the community. There wasn't this I'll just be straight up. There wasn't this elitist like, nah, bro, you haven't been playing golf. You know, you don't know how to swing a club. Da, 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 da. There wasn't any of that. It was just like, yo, oh, okay, you passionate about this, dude. You all in. You know what I mean? You stand on your stuff. You're on what you're creating. And there was an immediate invitation into the community, and it was real. It was like Los Golferos like followed our page. That's a big deal in my mind. You know what I mean? And then here comes Ralph, like come play around. Like I can be straight up on the show, man, and tell y'all when you're breaking in and you're just trying to get your foot in the door, like the biggest thing you could hope for isn't a sale. You could hope to get invited into the community. And I feel like that's what Ralph did. You know what I mean? That's what he did for us.
It's amazing. You guys are throwing out some
I'm gonna cry.
yeah. I mean, this episode.
That's it. That's all I
I
got,
feel
Ralph.
so
I don't
bad
have
for
anything
saying
else.
Boom,
my
hey.
favorite.
I don't have anything else.
Well,
You know, we had
but,
it's
going back
it's
to like the beginning, right?
mhm.
Like you're talking about, there's no judgment really. Like you don't have to have that. You know, some people get into the golf space and they're like, dude, I'm not very good. And then all of a sudden they want to play, but all of a sudden you
Yeah.
got this guy who's a two handicap, and then all of a sudden you get paired up with him, and this guy's a complete douchebag. And it's like there's so much changing in the
Goes
game of
back
golf.
to Dom's
And I and I
answer, what he
and I
said.
think that's
Yeah.
where it's like we're almost like accepting. It's like, you know what, just come as you are and like let's have a good time and like vibe with it. And I
There you
think,
go.
I think that's the coolest thing about
yeah,
modern golf now. And I say modern golf in quotes. Um,
Mm,
you know, we're all different people, we're all different cultures, different walks of life, stuff like that. But
mhm.
here we are, right? And what
here we
is the
are.
main common denominator? I can't do math, but I know that word. What's the main common denominator that has all of us here tonight?
Yeah, we enjoy the game of golf and fashion
There it is.
And alcohol.
There it is.
and some booze.
But it's mainly golf, right? And
100%.
it's
Yeah.
one of those things where
Yeah.
it's multifaceted, it's multi-generational, it's multicultural, and I'm happy it's trending that way because for a long time it unfortunately wasn't.
Right.
Boom. Dom, that's the soundbite. That was it. For a long time, it wasn't. It was not trending that way.
That is the beauty that like
Stuffy. It was just stuff
yeah,
like you just now it's like you have so many opportunities, and I think that's the perfect time for you to like get into the golf space because it's like it's not just the fashion. It's like you said, it's the relationships and like you're talking about
Mm,
Ralph. Like it meant a lot not to like make a sale, but to be able to get in the community space and have somebody invite you to play golf. Because honestly, like there's
huge.
nothing cooler than being able to connect.
oh my God, are they dead?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
My wife's rearranging stuff in the room. Hopefully they're all right.
Okay, y'all looked over like someone got shot. I got nervous.
I
for
know. I
y'all.
was like,
I
dang, bro,
was
like,
like,
what just
someone got,
Sirens,
happened?
I was
there's
like,
sirens.
someone got slapped. There was some violence in the next room.
Yeah. No, but just going back to it, like, you know, it's crazy how you can start on Instagram and then all of a sudden become like legitimate friends where you're like actually like talking, DMing like on a regular basis. And like that's what it's all about. Like it's not doesn't matter if you shoot a 75 or a 105. Like at the end of the day, we're just trying to enjoy a game of golf and look
Love
good,
that.
play good type of deal, you know?
Well, and I like all the different wow, it's loud.
It is loud.
It's loud. I like all the different companies that are coming out of this, right? Like I feel like everybody this year has been either like Latino owned or
Mm,
black owned, and I love seeing all the different twists they put on everything, right? Like
100%.
every company was the same for a long time. It's oh man, you got your black with your
mm,
white stripes.
And it's such great stories
mm.
though, too.
Yeah, like John with Buena Gente.
Yeah.
That
Buena Gente
was
Golf, that
so
was very good.
fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, Ralph,
Hey,
you're
shout
right
out to you
there.
guys
I
for getting
understand.
Yeah.
getting Buena Gente right. I listened to the
Yeah.
episode and John gave you a
Yeah.
shout out on that. I was like, man,
Yeah.
tienen el
Yeah. We gave each
acento.
other,
Look
yeah.
at them.
John was so cool. I mean, and that,
Yeah.
dude, at the end of the day, like that's what the Save Par Golf podcast and the page is all about. Like
Mm.
we love listening to the stories and we're nothing but like that's what we want to do is help grow the game and be able to like make connections and hopefully be able to have people like you guys come out to the golf course and tee it up together. And
And for the record, we had to figure out how to pronounce Buena Gente. So thank you to Bernice and
my
Jenny.
wife,
Your homework. You did your homework. That's what's
Yeah.
important. I love
Well,
that.
I'm like the
That's what I
last thing I
appreciate
want to
about you
do
guys.
is invite this guy on and just
then,
butcher his brain. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
my last name's not the easiest thing. So like I've grown up with people
Mm.
butchering my last name. I would feel terrible to be invited somewhere and be like, man, they couldn't even look up how to say it, how to say my brand or
Mm.
my company or whatever. I feel like it's just that easy step that everybody skips over because they think they know better.
Mm.
I don't know a lick of Spanish
I can
other
put
than
some
buena
words. I can
gente.
put some words together, and I can pick up sentences. But yeah, same. Like my wife is Mexican, so yeah, obviously we've had this discussion. So she kind of definitely helps me out on that. But I do want to ask you guys some golf related questions. But if there's anything that you guys want to mention or add before we kind of go over these questions, these are a little bit more.
Mm.
I don't want to say like heart related. I mean, like our stories that you guys are sharing are
Are
like
we gonna cry?
no. These are like more like a little bit like kind of
Because I'm an ugly crier.
no. But is there anything
Uh,
you guys want to talk about that's coming out 2024 or anything that we may have missed that we didn't ask?
I'll just give
Go
an
ahead, Don.
update. We're about to do drop two in March. It's gonna be big. It's a big moment for us. And I think that's why Ralph setting up the opportunity for obviously me to be here to, get to know you all. That's a big deal. I mean, it's grassroots right now, right? And there are a lot of different fronts that we're trying to stand up. Drop one was like, you know, not to get into it, but it's just like what every founder has to do. You're shipping, you're designing, you're selling, you're marketing, operations, all that. But drop two introduces three different collections, and that's the first time that I've in my entire life decided to take on something so ambitious from a design perspective. So I guess the update would be like drop two in March is going to present literally everything. It's going to present different styles of shirts. It's going to present colors that are kind of pushing the boundaries. The patterns are going to be pushing the boundaries a little bit. But we believe like this is going to be like that foundational moment in the culture of the company, where like if you're, we hope that everybody would be so lucky to like jump in and like get something from this limited collection. So like 10 years from now, it's like you're diving into the Levi's trunk. You're like digging back in the Ralph Lauren archives. Like you're digging back in like your Jordan pile, right? Because for a long time I was a sneakerhead, and it's like I was able to get this then. You know what I mean? And that means something. You know what
I
I
love
mean?
that.
And that's honestly what I was looking for when I got into golf. Like it's probably just a little bit of being too bougie as a designer, but you look to acquire something that like has some legacy to it. You know what I mean? Like if it feels like it's gonna fall off really quickly, like I just feel like we accumulate so much. So I'm all about stuff that like a brand that has longevity. So March is gonna be big for the next drop.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats. Yeah, let us know. We'd love to help promote it for sure.
So fun
Thank you.
fact, I have a pair of Jordan 12s from '97.
There
I
you
was
The year
go.
they
actually
came out.
I was actually gonna pull the trigger
Yeah,
on
there
both.
you go. I see
But they
it.
were
I
yeah,
see
there
it.
was they were 10 and a half, so they were a little bit too big for me. But that Capital Vegas had him for $99.
Who the hell is Capital Vegas?
He's like a big reseller
Yeah,
in Las
reseller.
Vegas
Yeah.
for an
Oh,
affordable rate though.
oh well, these I got on eBay one year. I think I don't remember what birthday it was, but I was like, I want a pair of shoes as old as I am,
Mm,
and I got a Jordan 12.
Which
So
ones?
I love it.
the fuck, French Blues.
French. Okay,
Yeah,
these were the
There you
taxis.
go.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
well, the French
that's
Blues
a
are
goal.
yeah.
yeah. I have an
That's
original
a
like
goal.
15.
Oh yeah,
Why?
yeah.
I don't know. And then I have an original 7, but it's a retro plus color, so it came out in like '02.
Is that kind of
Yes.
like the French blue looking one, right?
It's exactly
Yeah,
what it
French
is.
blue. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I
Don,
love
so
shoes.
yeah.
you've only gotten like to meet Raul for a little bit, but Raul was
Yeah.
also a big sneakerhead. So
Oh, I'm
last
Raul.
episode, Dom and Raul went down the rabbit hole. Oh my,
Oh
we were talking
no. Okay,
artists,
Yeah.
we were talking like designers of these shoes. So I love it
The
I'll
though. I
sirens
love
tell
are
it.
going off right now. That's how exciting this
okay.
episode
I,
is right
I
now. I don't
saw I
know if you
saw
can hear
Dom
it, but
And
his
as soon as
posture
Raul was like,
changed.
"Hey
His
Dom, I
posture
have
changed,
these
man.
Paris
He was like,
Dunks,"
sneakers,
I was
hold
like,
up.
"You have what?"
Yeah, he came closer to the mic, Ralph. I knew I said something, man, that resonated. I
you can
wasn't
hear it,
sure
man.
which part.
It's
Yeah.
fireworks right now for March.
Yep, yep.
It's because they freaking broke their
That's
heads
what
in
that
the
was.
room.
Yeah, they dropped something in the room.
Although
Um,
your wife did come out, so she's not dead.
she's alive, so
The
that's
issue
good.
is there's 2 of them in there.
Okay, so this is a question that I kind of just came up with because I feel like this is I feel like there's a lot of golfers in this space, and there's some golfers that are like completely out of this space. But do you guys play any money games when playing golf? And if so, like what
Mm.
type of games are you guys playing?
Ooh, 8 out of 10 times. I'm a gambler. I love being competitive. I played football and basketball for a majority of my life, and so I need to give myself a little edge. And so I'll play match play. That's been the recent one lately. Um, I actually have a league started with a few buddies. I say few, but the group chat's like at 22. Don's in that as well.
Oh wow.
We're kicking off a league in March, and so we'll be doing some competitive golf that way, kind of like FedEx point style.
Mm.
And last but not least, I've been playing a lot of Vegas golf. These poker chips they sell online, not sponsored, but hey, Vegas golf, if you want to send me some chips, um, basically there's good chips and bad chips. You can make them worth whatever you want. We typically play for $1 each. So if you hit a par, if you hit a birdie, a bogey, stuff like that, the chip moves around from hand to hand. End of the round, whatever you're left with, you either gain money or you're paying out money. So that's what I play right now.
Okay. How about you, Don?
You know what? When I get out with people, it's whatever the game is, like, match play. Often, I've shown up in a couple of different tournaments, which has been an experience. Done the scrambles. But if I'm honest, there's just not enough like consistent playing. Like I play now, it's just so I get pulled in with so many different people to play. So it's like whatever game they're playing. If I'm really, really honest, so much of where I'm at with my game right now is like the range culture. Like I won't say I'm a range bro, but like there's a whole like range community. And that's a whole conversation by itself. But I've spent so
Yeah.
much time on the range. And honestly, that's how the sales really like took off for our first drop because it was just like I kept showing up in the shirts at the range and still trying to figure out a consistent swing. But I wasn't, the guy who was, really playing every weekend yet because I was so new. But I kept meeting all these people who were like new to golf at the range. And so, yeah, all that to say that maybe more match play in the future, I hope, maybe more tournaments in the future.
Don doesn't actually have golf balls in his golf bag. He just has his polos in there. So he just like pulls them out and just sells them.
Hey, no, hey, we
Real
that
talk.
round we were
Hey, real
at, we were
talk.
playing team golf. We were playing team golf, and
That's right.
unfortunately, our team lost. We had to pay the beers, and so we were buying the
Yeah, we
beers
did.
at the end. Everyone saw me rocking the dandy. They started asking Don, like, "Hey, where can I get them?" He's like, "You mean these?"
Right here.
Real story.
I loved it.
That's
I
a
Right.
was like,
real
"Yes,
story for the fans. That's a real story. That's a scoop.
I I did that in the shindig.
love the
I don't
drive."
remember who I asked, but I went up to him like, "Hey, I really like your polo.
Where'd you get it?
Where'd you get it?" And then I asked if I was too white to wear it.
Do like a jersey swap right on 18. They just pull it off and they switch them.
I just wish I remember who it was, and I feel bad. But
So,
it was
so
sick. It was orange.
what we got to hear the story real quick that you were talking about earlier in the podcast, and then we got a couple questions. We'll do rapid fire and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. The caddy story. We're coming back to
Yes,
that.
yeah, want to hear
Oh
that.
my
Oh yeah, we
gosh,
got to hear
man.
that.
That's crazy.
Got to hear that.
So there's this golf course like down the street from where I live. It was a private course, and 14. I'm looking for a job, and they were offering opportunities for caddies. Again, don't know the history, don't know anything about golf, but I heard that they were paying like $100, to caddies if you worked a Saturday, right? Like you could get tipped, by the doctors and all this. So I'm in high school. I'm trying to get sneakers. So Dom, you can relate. I'm trying to get sneakers because sneakers, equal
What the
girls
hell is that
liking you
sound?
and all the good things.
Sorry, we don't mean to
So
interrupt you. We got the
yeah.
fire alarms are going off in the apartment.
Is that
Oh,
what
and
it
they're
is?
going off.
We had the sirens. The sirens were actually for our apartment. That's what it's at. Okay, sorry about
Oh
that.
Oh
man,
my
We're
God.
just making this story that
We'll
much
have
more
to
epic. That's all.
What the
we're gonna
hell
have to
is
finish the story outside.
Yeah, no,
this
we're
is
good.
they
We're
get
good
they
now.
get
he
the
was going down the
podcast done.
Yeah,
elevator?
we're like literally walking you
Yeah,
down.
but
Okay, sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you, but you're like 14. You got this potential for this
I
great gig
yeah,
as
yeah,
a
yeah.
cat.
but you have to take the test. I didn't realize there was a test. I thought it was an interview. You show up and you carry some dude's bags, you get paid. But there's like a book, like it's like a small book of like all the rules of golf. So here I am,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
studying
failing.
for this thing, but that's what happened. Don, listen, that's what happened. I showed up, I got like a 38. And this is me. This will show you, this will probably speak to who I am right now. Of course I'm pissed. I'm like, I don't know anything about golf. Like in terms of like, getting out there and doing this, but I'm like, I'm not about to be leaving out of here with a 38. I went home and I studied for like 2 weeks. Like I studied harder for that than my driver's test, like for my license. Like I came back and I got like a 98. Like it was like the best score anybody had ever got for like this golf
Heck yeah.
rules test. So at 14, I could tell you, I can't even do that now, but I could tell you anything and everything about the rules of golf, man. I had memorized the whole thing.
Wow.
And I get the opportunity to go out on a Saturday. I'm like, all right, cool. Now I'm ready to make the money. And it had to be the hottest day in Indiana. It's like 90 degrees, super humid, middle of July. And get up there to the first hole and like with all this knowledge, like here comes these guys hitting and like they couldn't hit the ball. They were like these, doctors, or it was what you would expect, like typical kind of old school golfer, right? And these dudes are like chunking the earth, hitting the ball all over the place. But then they were absolutely like just insane. They were like yelling at people, they're yelling at each other. Like it was horrible. So I like carried the club bag, did the 18 holes, and at the end they like tipped me like $20. And I was like, that's it. I'm never doing this again. I'm never
Wow.
showing up again. Didn't want anything to do with golf. That was the first experience with golf.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I left that day and I had like my one little takeaway was like my mom like put the test up on the fridge with like the 98. And I was like, that's it, I'm done with golf.
Yeah.
So like if I could change all of that, right, for like future generations, like by doing what we're doing right now, so that like my 14-year-old loves golf, then I've done something.
That's a great story.
I didn't know that there's a caddy test. I thought you just had to like carry the clubs.
Yeah, like,
There's a
hey, do you know
caddy
how to hit a
test.
ball? Do you know this, this, and this? All right, here you go. Here's some clubs.
There's a lot of
That's
rules.
crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of rules. Yeah, like
I
That wasn't that
I
wasn't
never.
pages of
explained in
rules.
Caddyshack.
Yeah,
Why didn't they show that in Caddyshack?
yeah, exactly. Taking the test.
I don't think I could ever caddy. I think I'd end up gaslighting the golfer too much.
I see. For me, like I think, like skip the test. You be a salesman and just totally pump up the person, regardless if they're
Yeah,
shooting a 200.
he'd be like Dom.
Like, dude, that was fantastic.
He'd be like
I
Dom.
like
Give
that.
give me a 5 iron. I'd be like, are you sure you don't want a 7?
Yes.
They're like, no, I want the 5. I'm like,
Because you can hit that. You can hit it with a 7 iron. I
yeah,
can guarantee
I
it.
guarantee you'll get. And then they'd be like, you're done.
Yeah.
It'd be like that scene in Tin Cup where he's like, I get there 3 wood, and they're like, no, you can't. And he goes, watch me. And then the golfer goes, if you do it, you're
Watch them.
fired. And he gets there with the 3 wood. Love that scene.
All right, we got to
a great
wrap this
movie.
up because I don't know
True
what's going
story.
on here with the apartment. We got the fire. We got the
Okay.
the sirens going nuts. So, quick thing. Best drinks on the course can be alcoholic, non-alcoholic, whatever you want. What's your top choice between the both of you?
Mm.
I'll let you go, Dom.
Four Roses, single barrel. That's
Four Roses,
that's a nice go-to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything like a little bit more mid-shelf whiskey is a good look. That's a good like, and you're off to it. And now your score, that's a whole nother conversation. Do you play better or worse after you start, sipping? But we'll leave that. We'll leave that.
Yeah,
So
we'll leave that
Ralph.
for the next episode for down the road, right?
In my brain, I
Uh,
was
I'm gonna go.
screaming tequila.
Well, that's my pick. I'm gonna go a Bloody Maria. I love Bloody
Mm,
Marys now when I'm on the golf course, but if I can find a nice spicy kind of lemony
Spicy.
Bloody Maria, that's where I'm at.
mm.
Okay, do you have a puttery out in California?
Oh, what?
It's called the Puttery. It's like a little mini golf place, but it's like a bar restaurant. Like, and they have like 3 9-hole like mini golf places. So we just opened one up downtown here not too long ago, and I'm not a huge margarita fan, but my wife, she doesn't
Love
drink a lot, but she
margaritas.
loves spicy margaritas, and they actually make
I love your wife.
yeah, they make me too.
I think our wives would get along, Derek.
Yeah, Yeah, I think
For
so.
margaritas
That's
too.
why you're also my favorite, right? That's why.
There we go, full circle. See,
We
Dom,
Um,
need the Puttery here in San Diego, man. That sounds like
they
there's a
should have.
market
That's why
opportunity.
I was kind of wondering that. Okay. Ask the pizza roll question. I went straight pizza rolls instead of chicken nuggets, but if you want to go chicken nuggets, go ahead.
What about mini corn dogs?
Oh, you can go that too.
Fuck, we're doing pizza rolls.
oh man,
How many pizza rolls do you think you guys could take down in just like a sitting?
dang.
I don't know, Ralph. You're a
Like,
big guy, man. You
I didn't
know,
want to say
I
it, but
know
yeah,
it
I was like,
does.
Ralph's a big dude.
It doesn't look like it on the screen.
ah,
Like on Instagram, I was like, oh, Ralph's my height, and then I roll
Ralph
up
is
and
a
like
tall
Ralph's
guy,
The
like
best
man.
part is
We said the same
straight
thing. He's like, dude,
quarterback.
everyone says
the
that.
best part is we met Ralph and Derek's like, wow.
Yeah,
Like,
I
Ralph,
mean that's
you're
what you
tall.
dude.
say when you first meet him. You're like, oh, okay. And then he was like running down the golf course. I'm like, bro, I can't even keep up. You're like late. I'm like trying to keep up with him. He's already down the course.
That's hilarious.
um, I would say like
Shout
probably
out to him.
like 15, man. 15 or 16. I could probably do in a man, I've put down like 13 biscuits from Cracker Barrel in a sitting. Like I've done things,
Ooh,
man. Things I'm ashamed of
Switching
it.
it up.
Things,
I
but
like
I'll
it.
Never
confess it
been there.
here.
Never?
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
Oh, we
yeah.
should go there sometime.
I'm
We're
sheltered.
putting
Never.
some
Wait a
context
minute.
in
Wait
there.
a minute. Hold on. I gotta take the glass. Wait, you never, Dom. You never been to Cracker Barrel? No, I'm playing,
No,
bro. We gonna
I've
take
been
you
I
there.
think
We
we
gotta
sheltered,
only
take.
have
by the
We
way.
I
we're
think we
gonna go.
literally
We're
only have
gonna
like
go. We gotta go.
I think we only have one in Minnesota.
Yeah, I would say, where's the closest one to
Yeah,
us?
it's down south.
Oh, then it's a destination.
Yeah.
It's become a
So we got to make it
destination
happen. We got to go.
opportunity.
My mom and grandma love it every
Yeah.
once in a while to go, and they never invite me either. So
Well, you don't
I feel
invite
bad.
me
And then
anymore.
when you go down south, if you ever go, have you guys been to the Masters yet? Has anyone here been
No,
to the
what's the
Masters yet?
Masters?
Nah,
No.
man. Shut up, Derek.
No, no, that's a bucket list thing. But when we go, you guys are coming with us.
And we're going to Waffle House.
I knew you
Done.
were gonna say Waffle
You know,
House.
it's
I knew
done.
as soon as
You
you said
knew it,
down south,
Ralph.
I was like, "You talking about Waffle
The
House?"
lead in. Come on, you saw the lead in.
We don't have those here either.
Oh
No,
man,
no, down south. Okay, last question. We'll wrap it up. Dom Dom, go ahead and take the mic.
All
It's a
right.
food related question.
Well, I wanted to ask a different one.
Oh, all
Well,
right.
there's two questions
Two questions.
because this one I need to know. If you guys could have a walk-up song into the first tee, what are you picking?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
for me, it's gonna be El Rey by Vicente Fernandez. He's our Mexican Elvis. So coming out to one of his songs, that's it for me. That's
It
your
was a little,
homework. Go look that up.
Ralph. It was a little quiet for me. Hold on. What was it?
El Rey by
Oh,
Vicente Fernandez.
oh, El Rey. Are you talking
Yeah.
about with Canelo walks out? That's like my all time jam right
He
there.
literally got his phone out
Mhm.
and Apple Music
Oh
searching it.
no, this. Oh, I got
Yeah,
on.
that's the
I got it on
jam.
the freaking headphones.
Ray.
You idiot.
Oh, Ray.
This is the real one though.
Yeah.
Vicente, right? You talking about the original?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, it's my jam
Yep.
right here.
I like how you turned it up and it's still
And
on
it's
the
still on the
headphone.
headphones. Yeah, Dom hooked me up
Fun,
with a pair of headphones, so I forgot to turn them off. El Rey, baby, that's a song. Right there.
dude.
The King.
El
Let's
Rey.
go.
Dude, fun fact about that. So we threw my grandfather a birthday party a couple years ago, like big one, had everyone come into town. We had a mariachi and they started
Mm.
singing that song. And so I was like mouthing the words. Dude pointed at me, he's like, "Get up here." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no." He's like, "Get up here." He pulled me
no.
up and he had me singing in front of the party with that. And like when you've had a couple tequilas and
Wow.
things are flowing, I was singing my heart out. Probably wasn't any good, but I was singing my heart out. I love that song.
That's awesome.
Is there a video of that anywhere that we could like?
Yeah. Go ahead, pop that up on the Instagram.
I'm not gonna send it to you. I think my wife has it.
Damn.
Ron, what about you?
You know, honestly, it'd probably be like a Lil Wayne. Like what's going off in my head right now? I'm the horns. I gotta have horns, man. I like it's gotta be royal off the tee. So like right above it. I think that's Lil Wayne. Like
That's
right
a
above it.
banger.
Oh,
I
right
don't.
above it, Lil Wayne.
It's a
Yeah.
banger. You know, it's like they actually use that for like the theme song, I guess, to intro Ballers. You got it.
Ballers.
And it's just like
Mhm.
I feel like, you know, I don't know. I'm working
Don't play
on
it.
killing this slice. I hit a draw the other
That's why I
day
told you not to
off the
play it.
tee.
No.
And I'm like, I need that. I need that as my theme song walk up. That's the walk up right there. It's like dun, dun. Like
Two
I
solid
love that, man. The
choices.
horns.
I remember that
The
album came
horns.
out. I was in middle school.
You're young.
Oh
You know
God.
what? There you go. Dude,
Pause.
I'm telling you, man. Classic. It's
I
classic.
was walking through the
You
halls listening
know?
to gonorrhea like every day.
Okay, Dom, finish up. Last question, then we're out. Hey, first off,
Well, what about your walk-up song? You never answer this.
I know he does this every time to me, and I
And
always suck at
every
it.
time you don't answer.
Okay, I will. So I will say that I was actually driving into work this morning, and I knew Dom was gonna ask me this, so I do have a song.
Mm.
I'm so proud of you.
And now I'm trying to find it, but it is the Van Halen song of the opening of the Chicago Bulls back in the Jordan days.
Oh,
Wow.
That's
Wow.
Oh yeah, there.
I
and I
know.
know I've been really
Can,
bad at this
we
because we
gotta
asked
like
this.
outro the episode with that song now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean honestly, Dom asks me every
Wow.
time, and I always suck at this because I love music too, and I always have like a good idea, but then I always lose my train of thought. But I'm like, I literally was driving to work this morning. I'm like, I know Dom's gonna ask me this question.
Yeah, that's why you wanted to skip it, didn't you?
No, I didn't even think about it
Oh,
actually. But no, so I'm gonna go with that song, and I'm drawing a blank on the name of it, but it's by Van Halen, and it's the everyone knows the Chicago theme
it's the Bulls.
intro. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's what I'm
That's it,
jamming with.
man.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's a good one. No time.
that's it.
yeah,
I
We
mean,
yeah.
gotta you gotta like play that. That's gotta be played in the episode at some point. I don't know when you
We got to
guys
put
go
that
back
on
to.
there. It's
You
let's
gotta
figure
put
out
that in
how
here
yeah,
somewhere.
in like 3 years.
we're gonna put that in right in the opening theme. Dom, what are you gonna pick? Go
Um,
something a little different. You always come up with good ones. What we
yeah.
got? We gotta switch it up.
Think maybe Jackie Brown by Brent Faiyaz or the new 21
Mm.
Savage Should Have Wore Your Bonnet.
I don't know
Oh,
if I've
okay.
heard.
Oh, no,
I
because
see
it's new.
that.
You don't listen to new music. Hold on,
Yeah, I'm like old school
hold
kind
on.
of
I got
guy.
it. It starts off really groovy.
Dom right
Then it
now is
gets
grabbing his
vicious.
tee and his golf ball right now in the golf bag.
Yeah.
Just making a slow walk up the steps.
And then all of a sudden 21's here.
Drop your dot, you
Oh,
know.
now he's ready. He's teeing it up.
Nice, fine, fucked up. You should have worn your bunny.
Okay.
Grab it from me. And then there's Brent.
And then he pipes it 300
What?
yards.
And then it gets better.
Drop the low apartment.
Come on.
Already know it.
I walk up to that, you know it's gonna be a straight right shot.
Just hitting it slicing. Through.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'm-
Again, it's been a pleasure. We love this. Hopefully we can do this
Amazing,
again.
man.
Ralph, thanks for
You
introducing.
have to do the food.
We do. I know. I'm just saying. I appreciate it. This has been an awesome time. So I'm excited for this to drop on Friday.
Thank you,
And
guys.
Don and
Yeah.
Ralph, let us know how we can keep continuing to support you guys. We really appreciate it.
I think it's so safe that I have the better music taste.
Yeah, I'd say.
Cool.
But I mean, I feel like you're like ready for it, like rapid fire. And for me, like I have good ideas, but then I totally like blank it.
Because
So,
I have a different artist I listen to every week.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm older, so I've,
Derek, are you the guy that like you'll get into like a verbal match with Dom and then later at home you'll be like, fuck, I should have said that to him. All right.
no, because honestly, growing up with an older brother, I always like had like he had such always good comebacks. So normally, like
Mm.
I'm pretty quick to the punch of having good comebacks because he was always a little bully. And so like now I've like grown up to like be like rapid fire, but me and Donna don't really have those kind of like those type of like discussions. So it's like I just kind of take it with the easy salt, like grain of salt. If it's like but I will say Dom normally has a like for me, like I have a pretty wide like range of music. So I listen to a lot of like Mexican music that I don't speak Spanish, but I like love. I mean, I have a lot of like artists that I've actually seen in concert that I couldn't even tell you what they're saying, but I
There's
just
a-
like enjoy it.
There's
and I
a
love it.
banger rapper out in Germany.
Yeah.
Word.
Let me tell you.
Is he a Mexican rapper in Germany?
No, he black.
Is he German?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just curious because you never know.
But he reminds me of like YG. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Oh,
I was
German
like
YG.
Yeah.
That's
when I
wild,
was like
man.
when I was down.
I
Luciano.
need
His
to know
name's
who that is, Dom. You guys send
Luciano.
that to us. Luciano?
Luciano. He's got a song with
Why do I
Central
not know
C.
that?
That's
Oh yeah,
why I
thank you.
heard
So yeah, I've heard that.
Really?
I feel like
Yeah.
I've heard his name. Yeah.
I remember I
German
mentioned-
rap is sick. German and
I mentioned
French
it.
rap
I
is
mentioned it in one of our group chats because obviously we work with Odin pretty closely, and they're out of Germany.
Mhm.
And Big Phil goes, "Yeah, the rapper." I'm like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, see, I
Yeah.
tap into like the Mexican artists. Dom Dom taps into the Germany artists. So we
He's
we
the
got a
only
pretty wide
German
range
artist
of.
I know.
I
But
love that. I
okay,
love
Dom Dom, fire it off. Last question.
So, Ralph, you know what's coming. We'll be there eventually. We're in San Diego. Where are we gonna go eat?
it.
Where are we gonna go eat?
Yeah,
Ooh,
switched it
dang.
up.
You did switch it up.
That's a tough
You know
one
what?
just
Let's make
because
it
I
even a
feel like
little more
there's so
difficult.
much.
We're doing a full day. Full day. We're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner in San Diego. Where are we going?
All right. So for me, breakfast, I'll probably take you down to Cafe Coyote. It's in Old Town San Diego.
Old
They
Town.
pretty
It's a good
much
spot.
have all, yeah, Old Town's awesome. So you can pretty much get any like traditional Mexican plates there. Lunch, uh, there's this food truck in Chula Vista Main Street. I love Mexican seafood. I'm gonna keep this all Mexican.
Mm.
Come on.
Mexican
So Mexican
seafood?
seafood, yeah, mariscos. And it's called El Prieto. It's on Main Street.
Mm.
Really good. So I would take you there. And then for dinner, I'm probably gonna take you to go get some good tacos. You really can't go wrong down in San Diego, but up in my neck of the woods, I could take you either the TJ's tacos or Frida's tacos. So get you some
Totally
real good
different. Just
tacos.
be like dinner, Taco Bell.
Jeez.
Just throw everybody for a
Mm.
loop.
I do some carnitas tacos. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
We'll get you taken care of with tacos down here,
Oh
guys.
yeah.
There's
I'm a big fan of birria.
We did have a
Ooh.
birria taco truck at the Arizona deal,
Yeah,
which
don't remind me.
well, no, I was gonna say like my wife actually said it was like one of the best, but I was like, it was good, but don't get me wrong, I love birria
nah.
tacos too, but it was
We'll do it out here. Well, you know what? I'll have my dad make birria. I could be biased, but my
Ooh.
dad makes some of the best birria in the
homemade.
world,
Can
and
you mail
Ralph, I
some?
yeah,
want to be
homemade.
there.
Yeah, send
Yeah,
it
You
out.
want?
send
Hey,
us
We'll all
we'll
be
do
there,
it.
man. Big old
all
party.
all the leftovers. Mail them to Minnesota.
Don, what about you?
Yo, it depends on what day. I mean, it really depends on what day.
So
I'm serious.
let's go
Like
out like Friday.
Friday.
on a Friday. Okay, so
Friday fun day.
Friday fun day. We'll start out at like Great Maple. It's like simple, tried and true, brunch style because we're gonna play 9 in the morning. So we'll play 9 in the morning. Then you're gonna need something that feels a little bit more like you're in Minnesota, but you're getting it out here on the West Coast. So Great Maples got the big dishes with, all the brunch you would expect, the
Damn, it's like
the
he's
the
been to Minnesota
scrambles,
before.
the French
Yeah,
toast, all of that,
he knows
man.
what he
You
wants.
know?
Yep.
Yeah, so you start at Great Maple. I think later in the day, um, probably go up to like Claremont, man. Like I'm a late like Fridays, like I need like, ramen. I need something like that to kind of like, because if you're gonna go out Friday, you need to make sure your afternoon, you got that late ramen kind of situation set up. So there's a couple of places that have like Mina Ramen is phenomenal. The chef was like a Michelin star chef who set up, a restaurant out here. And it's like,
Wow.
it's an eatery, so you're not paying Michelin star prices, but the ramen is phenomenal on a Friday. And then like Friday night, we'll probably end up somewhere where you can like, get some really good views and vibes with the food. So we'll probably go to um there's a spot that is it's actually in this little area in San Diego they call East Village. And they do like a Sonoran style like barbecue, which I've never had that until I, moved out here, and it's phenomenal. Like, the brisket, it's called like I don't even remember what it's called now. I've been there like several times. It's like, man, it'll come back to me. I'll have to send it to you guys. But like that place is phenomenal for like barbecue on a Friday night.
Oh,
So
Is
sounds
it
like
the
a perfect
Suadero?
yeah.
Friday.
Oh my god.
No,
So
I gotta. You know what? I gotta look it up because the viewers are gonna be like, "Don, what are you talking about? Where is this place?"
so what I've gathered is we're gonna get absolutely stuffed with Ralph. Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have all the food we can ever eat. You're gonna have to roll me out of that damn place. And with Don, we're gonna have
Mod Bomb.
experience.
Mod Bomb. That's it.
Odd bomb.
Sonoran
Love it.
Barbecue. That place.
For all your
Yeah,
listeners and
man.
viewers, that's the place.
Yes. MOD. Yeah. Mod Bomb. BOM. That's the spot.
I'm gonna have to
Great
check that out,
answers.
Don.
Yeah,
Popolo.
great answers.
Actually, Popolo. PAPALO. Popolo. Shout out to
Popolo.
Popolo with the Sonoran brisket barbecue to end your Friday. Late night because you have
Late
ramen
night.
in the afternoon. So late night. This is how you finish it out.
You guys have been. I mean, this has
Oh
been
my
amazing.
God.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about it right now. I'm actually kind of hungry.
I
but-
ate too much for dinner, but I feel like I could like eat more.
Guys, it's honestly been a pleasure. We really appreciate it, Ralph. Thanks for hopping on again.
Thank
And
you,
Don, so
guys.
nice to
Thank
meet
you,
you,
Ralph.
man. Continue the
Wonderful to
great
meet
work.
you guys.
And let's
Yeah,
do this again soon. And hopefully, if this event does come to fruition here in June, we'd love to have you guys come out
July.
or July.
God, I hope we don't do it in June.
Yeah.
June is last June. Last June.
If I could wrap it up, guys, I just want to say big shout out to Safe Park, guys. For those of you guys that are listening or watching, whatever you guys are, wherever you guys are streaming this, much love to Safe Park. Derek and Dom, they're doing wonderful things about putting people on and giving them shout outs and having great conversations. So thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Yeah,
you, Ralph,
absolutely.
for pulling
I
us
almost
in the
cried this
same room.
episode.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Can't wait till next time.
Likewise,
Take
guys.
care, fellas. Have a good night.
Take care, guys. Night.
Take care,
Why
y'all.
the fuck isn't my mouse working?
That's the way to end it.
No, it's seriously, it's still recording, but it's been doing it
I
this
know.
whole time where it'll